Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? We are pretty good. It is about 10 o'clock Central Time, and we are in North Little Rock, Arkansas at the Maverick Yard. We got here yesterday afternoon around, I guess it's about 5 o'clock, and it was not a bad drive. We ended up getting to the Flying J in Birmingham, Alabama for the night, and that turned out to be a huge chore. Getting there actually wasn't all that bad. It was parking when we got there. I knew that it was going to be late when we got in, and it was about 9 o'clock Central Time, and I had pre-ordered and prepaid for a parking spot. Well, I got there and there wasn't any spaces available, so I went inside and checked to see what the deal was, and they started looking, and there were three or four people who had parked in the spots and did not pay, and they were nowhere to be found. It was a real mess, and all of the spots had been sold. The manager did everything she could to try to find these guys, and he didn't. One of them, we did find out, was a Landstar driver, and he had parked his truck, and his wife came and picked him up, and they drove off. And he didn't have pay in advance. Another guy had seen him do it. The guy was parked next to him. Well, long story short, they ended up getting me a spot off where they parked the fuel trucks for the night. I had to park there, and it was just a real freaking mess. I ended up spending like 2.5, almost 3 hours trying to get parked, because that place was completely, utterly packed, and even there was tons of illegal parking too. Not very happy about the situation. That's the second time that's happened where I've gone to a Flying J and no spots have been available after I paid for it in advance, and I've had to either wait while they find somebody, or I ended up having to park someplace else. Actually, it's been more than that. It's been probably 3 or 4 times. But I did get a refund out of this one. That was the first. They got me a spot, and then they gave me a refund on top of it and apologized. So, I mean, we did get to sleep, but it was a huge pain in the butt. Well, we got up and we left, and we didn't actually just get up on time. We just kind of slept in, and then headed over here. And we got here early yesterday, and I went out to lunch, or dinner, I should say, over at Las Palmas with Rick, and another driver that was here. Taywin didn't want to go, and kind of hung out last night. Got yesterday's video, got the day before's video uploaded, because I could not get it uploaded from Birmingham. The internet was so bad that it timed out after about 2 minutes. So, sorry for the delay on that one. This morning our delivery is at 11:30. It's about 20 minutes away in Little Rock. We're going to leave here at 11. We already have a load. It's a repower that's sitting here on the yard, so we'll have to come back here, drop this trailer, hook that one up, and take off. It's a load of plastic pipe, the big water pipe, and it's going down to Humble. So I guess we're going to go home for the weekend. It's going to be a bit out of route. And then drive down on Sunday. In normal situation, because it is so far out of route, I wouldn't go home. But my wife and my son are out of town this weekend at Scout Camp. No one's there to watch the dogs, so I guess I will be going home, at least until Sunday, when they get back. So that's where we stand at the moment. Not really quite sure what else to say. Well, Taywin did really well yesterday. He's doing better. It's getting better. He backed in here yesterday. He actually did a pretty good job, and it was a partial blind back. I think it's more of a confidence issue with him, and when it comes to certain things, I mean, he's a pretty confident kind of guy, but he gets kind of hidden nervous at times and tries to jump the gun. So I'm pretty pleased that he's got a week left after this, and I think once he gets off of here next week, he will be doing really good. Next week, though, it's all him. I'm not going to do anything but sit in this seat, because he's got a trip plan, decide how things are going to be loaded, and all that good stuff. And then I'm taking 2 weeks off from training, so I can be solo probably through Thanksgiving, and then pick up a student after that. Get a little time to myself, because I mean, I like having somebody on board, but I like my privacy as well. So that's that. Quick shout out to Harry Zareski. I think that's how you pronounce it. He is in training this week actually he's in TCD class this week from my YouTube channel. Got a chance to meet him today, and he seems like a really nice guy. He's been following me on YouTube here for a bit, and then came to Maverick. He went to ASUN, which is our driving school, and apparently him and his entire class were the first ones in almost a year to get a perfect score throughout the whole thing. And he's in TCD. I talked to Dave, and he's doing really, really well in there. So he's going to go home after he finishes class today, and take 2 weeks off for work and holiday, since he's been gone already 5 weeks. And then he comes back. Then he'll go with his trainer when he gets back. So shout out to you, Harry. It's great to meet you, and I hope to see you on the road, even though you're driving a van. But that's all right. There's nothing really wrong with TCD. So I will update y'all later when I get this loaded, when we get back. See you later. Bye. How are you this evening? We are pretty good. Well, I am anyway. It's 10 p.m. Central Time, and I am at home. Taywin is at the hotel. Um, we I recorded a video earlier when we did the repower, but for some reason it didn't record any audio. So you guys get to see the inside of my sitting room here at the house. Uh, we got to Antique Brick this morning right at 11:30, which was our appointment time, and we were there about an hour and 45 minutes. That place is a real pain in the butt to get into. It's down some old city streets there in Little Rock, and then the actual entrance into the delivery area, because there's actually two locations. There's a location where they have their sales, and then there's another place where they actually do the receiving and shipping. And it's a couple blocks away, and it's back down this really tight turn, an alley, and it's just the place is a real mess. But we got there, got it unsecured, and they took their sweet time, finally got it off of us. And then we headed back to the yard to pick up our repower, which is going down to Humble, Texas for Monday. It's a load of plastic pipe. They water pipe, plastic water pipe. And while we were there, we had to move some equipment from. We swapped equipment with the new trailer we were picking up because we didn't like the tarps that were in his box. And I've got 5 brand new vinyl tarps, two brand new 4-footers, and 2 brand new 8-foot drops, and 1 canvas that I had swapped out yesterday when we got in because the ones that I originally had were bad. While I did that, I took the truck. While Taylor was moving the stuff, I took the truck over to the service center to have him look at the fuel filter because it was kind of had a lot of water in it, and it was kind of murky, and I wanted them to take a look at it. And they drained it, but while they were doing that, they put my military service decals on, and which was nice of them. I'd asked for them, but I hadn't really pressed on about it, and they came out and put them on. So my truck looks good. I posted that to Facebook, and once we got all that said and done, and we handled a couple other things, we took off, and I headed down here. It was a nice lazy drive down. Today was kind of really a lazy day. This whole week has been kind of lazy, to be honest. I mean, we only pulled. Well, this was the 3rd load for the week, and the first load on Monday, went out to Georgia, and that was kind of a lame load because it didn't pay a lot. It took a long time to get there. I mean, it was technically a 2-day load, but we could have done it in a day. And then we had the 2-day load to Little Rock, which we could have done in a day. I really wish we could have delivered it yesterday. And then we got this little thing to Humble, and it's not really going to pay all that much. It's only 400 miles from Little Rock to Houston, but then again, I'm also detoured here to Dallas, to the house. So I think I only got like 1,400 miles for the entire week last week. And it's really kind of bummer on that one. I did talk to my fleet manager, and I talked to a couple people at corporate this morning before we headed over to Antique Brick about the mileage situation. And of course, this is trucking, and it's just the way it goes. It slumps and comes and goes, but I was assured that it's starting to pick up a little bit, and depending on what kind of winter we have, we may or may not even get a winter slump. It just, with the election and everything and the way the economy is, it's just been hectic the last few months, and hopefully now that, like I said the other day, that the election cycle is done, and even though people aren't very happy, some people aren't very happy with the outcome, that things will improve, especially in the trucking sector. It's just been miserable this last year all the way around. Coming up next week, this is Taywin's last week on the truck. So if I pass through Little Rock anytime next week, he will be getting off. Or will get off the truck the first time I pass through Little Rock, or if I come home next weekend, which at this point right now I do not plan on coming home next weekend, that he will be able to get off and graduate and move on. He's just about ready. He's got just a couple little things he needs to polish on, especially the backing part. But that's it. All in all, it was a pretty mediocre week, and I got to meet a couple of YouTubers. I talked about one earlier that I met, people that have watched me, and I found out today I have 2 more people that have used me as a referral coming to Maverick, and I do appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. I don't have their names though, unfortunately. Not that I would give them here. So that's it for the weekend. We'll deliver this thing on Monday morning at an Humble, and hopefully next week will be a better week because getting kind of tight on the finances at the moment. So until we speak on Monday, keep the shiny side up, 73s. See you later. Bye.